Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a build guide for the AETHERIC Strider for the Mind Weaver class in Baldur's Gate 3. This mod was made by ZX10RX. This is one of my favorite mods in the mod manager, if not my favorite, because it comes with so many cool effects. So the AETHERIC Strider, what is it supposed to do? You're supposed to do arrow attacks to move into the target and then attack, disappear, and move back. So that is the whole gist of this class. I'll show you how to make this as strong as it possibly can be and give you a little bit of a combat demonstration as well as gear choices. So we did choose cantrips. Now our cantrips, you get to choose all of them, so you don't have to worry too much about a selection here. So you get the Mind Seeker here, which is 1d8 of psychic damage. Channel your psychic focus into an arrow that curves and seeks its target with uncanny precision, dealing 1d8 of psychic damage. No barrier can hide the mark from your relentless aim, and this arrow always hits its target, and it requires 4 meters distance from the target. You're going to see why in a moment. You also get the Sonic Detonation, does 1d6 psychic damage, and shoot a charged psychic arrow that detonates upon target, and all nearby are engulfed in this blast, their minds racked with intense psychic force. Using Mind Surge will detonate with additional force, knocking everyone back. And we get the Mind Pierce arrow, channeling concentrated psychic force, release an arrow that strikes with mental precision, dealing 1d8 of damage upon target, and it inflicts mind rend for 2 turns. We also got ourselves some versions for melee weapons. So we get the Aether Blade Ruin, does 1d8 of necrotic, harness Dark Aether, and leap forward, bringing your weapon down with devastating precision to strike your target. Upon impact, a surge of necrotic energy bursts forwards, ravaging your foe with the power of the Aether. Using the Mind Surge will inflict additional 1d6 of necrotic damage and scales with level. We also have the Death Veil Spiral, which hits in a 360-degree arc, unleashing a maelstrom of necrotic power, doing 1d6 necrotic damage. These will also scale up as we level up. And we also have Soul Rend, which does 1d8 of necrotic damage, inflicting soul sever, leaving an aftershock of lingering pain that seems to haunt the target's very essence. And we can inflict soul fire on the target, which will show off what this looks like. We did choose class passives. Now, this one here allows you to use strength for attack and damage rolls with weapon attacks and range weapon attacks. Can be really nice because strength is typically not used for bow attacks. So with this, you can allow it to happen and use a strength potion to further increase your overall strength. This will increase your move and jump distance. This one will increase your initiative equal to your intelligence modifier. And the Aether Step, the Aetheric Strider moves with supernatural grace when striking an enemy in melee range. The Strider prevents them from making opportunity attacks, slipping effortlessly out of reach. So you can do it so you can attack and get away for free. Now for ability scores, I think this is optimal. 16 strength, 10 dexterity, 14 constitution, and 16 strength if we chose the other passive. Now you can also dump your strength and go all in on your dexterity. That's going to be probably the most impactful way of doing this, because strength potions can push our strength past what's normally possible. You can also use a cheater's ring to be able to get a bunch of strength potions if you want to. Set your strength to 27 there. It can be nice because it just makes it the strongest version of this. So you can also get the strength potions the original way, but we get to choose some spells here now. So there's a few of them. You don't get to choose all of them. So Spectral Pursuit does a psychic infused arrow, doing 1d8 of psychic damage at your target, slowing them and teleporting you to their location, which can be really nice for getting in and doing your damage with your attacks. We also have Mind Seeker Barrage, 3d4 plus 3 psychic damage. Unleash 3 psychic infused arrows that twist through the air, finding their targets with each shot. Each arrow homes in with devastating accuracy, never missing its target, and dealing a 2 to 5 psychic damage to the enemies across the battlefield. This is pretty much like Magic Missile with psychic damage. We have the Veil Exile, so with precise thrust dealing weapon damage, the Aetheric Strider banishes the target to the Aether Veil for 2 turns, infusing with volatile energy. Upon the return, the unstable Aether deals 2 to 12 necrotic damage, damaging all nearby, and erupts again the following turn for another 2 to 12. There's also the Cloak of Malice, so shrouded in an aura of dark intent, invisibility until your next strike. When you break from the shadows, your next spell or cantrip deals an additional 1 to 4 necrotic or psychic damage based on the source of damage. Any healing or ally effects will remove this spell. It lasts for 10 turns. There's also the Mind Shackle, which is normal to most of the Mind Weavers. 3 to 6 of psychic damage and silence them for 2 turns. I think it's best to go with the either Veil Exile if you want to use like a way to get rid of the target from the combat for 2 turns, and then they come back and deal damage. This also doesn't require concentration, making it strictly better than Banish, which you get at a much higher level. Now we get to choose 2 fighting styles here, so we'll take Archery here, and then depending on if you want to use a 1 or 2-handed weapon, you'll choose the other. So at level 3, we get the Ethereal Mastery, so after using Mind Surge, you can levitate and fly. We also get Aether Veil Hunt, so the Aetheric Strider's relentless focus on their prey allows them to pursue with unparalleled agility. When using a ranged cantrip, they can freely teleport to their target. Likewise, after using a melee cantrip, they may seamlessly retreat to a safe distance next to an ally for a ranged attack. So again, get in, get out. We also got ourselves the Aetheric Renewal here, so mount to the ethereal realms. The Aetheric Strider's connections to the Aether surge at the start of combat, restoring their power to volatile energy, fuels their relentless hunt, driving them to stalk and annihilate their prey with merciless precision, leaving only the echoes of death in their wake. It's a mouthful. So we get to again choose 2 more of our cantrips here, and we'll get the 2 others a bit later. So this is pretty strong. You can choose your preference there. There's not really a huge difference, especially because you get both of these. But we also get the Blade and Bow Requiem. So cantrips empower your melee strikes. So basically, if you do a ranged cantrip, you get psychic damage on your attack, and if you do melee attack, you get the necrotic damage. It's for the next attack, alternating. So do a bow attack, you get necrotic damage on your melee attack, and vice versa. You're also going to choose another spell here. I think it's not a bad idea to have Mindseeker Barrage just for the free, easy damage that's guaranteed. And we'll take an ability score improvement to take up our intelligence here. So the intelligence could also go to like dexterity for armor class if you wanted, or constitution. Veil Strider's Wrath at level 5. So after using a cantrip, you can use another cantrip or make a weapon attack or a ranged weapon attack. So basically you get your extra attack, but it's with cantrips and ranged weapons. So we're going to want to use those to attack most often. We also get Hold Person at level 5, which is probably my favorite spell here. But the Psychic Shock Arrow, or Psy Shock Arrow, does 3d6 psychic damage plus additional psychic. Similar to the Lightning Arrow, but Psychic's much better damage type, not commonly resisted, and Resonant Stone will double it. So the Shockwave resonates from the impact point, doing 3 to 24 psychic damage to a target, and additional 1d8 of psychic to all targets caught in the blast radius. We also have the Spirit Shatter, which does weapon damage plus 4 plus 2d6 necrotic, and the primary target suffers weapon damage plus spellcasting ability modifier, so 4, and everyone in close proximity takes 2 to 12, and unless they pass an intelligence saving throw, and you can inflict soul fire with this as well. There's also the Psychic Chain Shot weapon, so loose a potent arrow charged with psychic energy, striking the enemy target and rebounding of a distance of 10 meters before nearby foes, dealing 4 psychic damage plus spellcasting ability modifier. Pretty nice for a definite ton of targets. Now, for our next class passive, you can go with the Increased Initiative if you wanted to. Increased movement speed is always good. This makes it so whenever you attack with Psychic, it won't get resisted, but this is mostly just for inanimate objects, so we're going to go with the Intellectual Agility. We get some better choices here in a moment. Now, level 6, we get to choose another cantrip for both, so pretty obvious, Che. Just get the last one there that you don't have. For our next spell, I think the Spirit Shatter is a good choice, but I'm a big fan of Hold Person, so if you go with Hold Person, I think that's probably a better choice, but I want to show off all these abilities here. Now we get ourselves another class passive, and even the Fleetness of Mind can give you increased movement speed, which is nice. Alert for +5 to initiative works great. You can also go with the Savage Attacker to reroll your damage dice twice, which is also really good. At level 9, we get to choose another spell, and we get the ever-powerful Death's Embrace. So Sweeping Arc of Necrotic Energy does 6 to 48 necrotic and disarms all targets in the area. Or the Aether Veil Lance, doing a 8d6 of psychic damage and piercing through all in its path, all that caught in, and take 8 to 48 psychic. So either one of these are good. Obviously, they're very powerful, and you can go with both of them. For our fighting style, we'll go with dueling. For the purposes of this, I'm using a spear, but you can go with other choices. Level 10, free level, you just get a level up there. Level 11, we get to choose another passive with the Spectral Vanish, so tap into the spectral energies of the void, momentarily displacing yourself to an upcoming attack to miss entirely, and you can use this once per short rest. This will, all Mindweaver cantrips now deal additional damage equal to intelligence modifier, so this can be pretty strong too. Spectral Vanish is nice as well, so whichever one of these, if you want to be more offense or defensive focused. At level 12, another feat, alert feat, or we can go with ability score improvement to up our intelligence, because that's going to boost our overall damage. Now, what this is going to end up looking like, so we have all these different effects here. So these cantrips are pretty strong, so you can go ahead there, and you can see the Deathward Spiral there. Didn't end up hitting someone. But these attacks empower our weapons, so you can see they do a good amount of damage, and they set up some extra effects, which I'll show off here after we go over to gear. Now, the best choice for gear would be probably one of the more powerful effects. So I like Armor of Agility for getting our armor class up to 26 here, so this can be pretty tanky. Although you can't go with the heavier armor, you can go with like the ballast armor here if you want to focus on melee attacks. But the Armor Agility is typically going to be our best selection here for just overall damage output, so we're going to go with that. Dye it purple for thematic purposes. I also go with the Mask of Soul Perception for increased attack rolls. Cloak of Protection for increased armor class, along with the boots and the ring. You can use whatever you really want for these, but Nir's boots work well too for resisting the slipping. Helldesk gloves for bonus spell attack roll and spell DC and fire damage, which is nice. Killer Sweetheart for the critical. Emulator greater health for health. Gaunter Mail. This is huge because it inflicts guiding bolt on targets that you attack, giving you advantage on your attacks, and you get celestial haste. You can go with hand crossbows if you'd like, but the Gaunter Mail is probably the best bow in the game. I also like going Sharp Spear of the Evening for the darkness. This is up to you. The bow is a big one, but you can go with other things like the Sword of Life Stealing, or if you wanted 2-weapon fighting, Sword of Chaos can work well. Filer Aloof early game weapon works really well, but I like the Sharp Spear of the Evening because we can set up darkness and play to the darkness. So I'll show now what this looks like in combat. So I'll get Gale to haste myself so you can see what this looks like. You typically want to have haste on your best character, and this is a good one to go with because you get 2 actions. And we can also cast, boom, we can attack with actions or even use 2 of them per attack. But the increased movement speed also is really nice. So we want to get in there. You can use your bow attack to move in, but I was lucky enough that I could just get in here. And I'll just go with a soul rend here to do a bit of necrotic damage. And you can see you get the ethereal retreat here. So harness the Aether to retreat an ally. And this tactical shift enables you to seamlessly unleash ranged spells from a safer distance. So you can use that, find your allies, which I don't have any nearby. But you'd use this to teleport to them, and it uses up your Aether, which you have a couple slots to use. So that is pretty fun. But you can also run away if you wanted to. But we inflicted the Soul Sever there, so they get a little bit extra damage. And then we can go with something like, if we want to just do something for fun, we can go with like this here, which is like Magic Missile. Oh, it won't be able to find a path there, oddly enough. No, it's not hitting them. That's fine. I'll just show it off on this target here. So psychic damage, that took about 19. Yeah, it hits the extra necrotic damage on the target, so that's really good too. Psychic detonation, we can hit right there and hit them with it. Boom, that took them out surprisingly. 28, 16, 18. That was crazy. So we'll just let them come to me now. And the thing is, psychic damage with the resonance stone is going to blast and hit really hard there. So if you have that straight line attack that'll hit really hard. So there's some pretty fun abilities here. I don't know why she didn't come after us there, but yeah, the Psyshock arrow is also really nice. Veil Exile can allow you to turn set them away. I didn't even inflict the Arcane Might infusion yet. I should have done that, but I'll go fight another group of enemies. So the Aetheric rune there, available next turn, bonus action attack. And then we go with the Mind Seeker arrows, or I guess we can just go with like a normal weapon attack here. Some of these are cantrips, which is fun. Low chance to hit, but we still hit. And then Soul Rend for the final attack should take him out. And it didn't. Soul Severed him though. So we'll just let that happen, and he's going to attack us with his main hand. That's fine. They're going to run out here, and then I can hopefully get a double attack off. We'll just do Beckoning Darkness. That's fine. Oh, I'll see if I can line this up, because we got this side lance here, which is really good. See if we can pop that up. I don't know if the door will block it or not. Target's blocked. I'll do it anyways. Oh yeah, we hit her with that, so we took him out. That's perfect. Level 3 spell slot, but it's well worth it. And then I guess for our final, we'll just go with a bow attack. Should probably take her out. Boom. All right, now I'll show this off against a large group of guards. All right, now to show off the blasting power, we do have some very strong spells here, like this one, which will hopefully drop a bunch of them. It didn't, so we'll just get into a fight here. And actually took out a couple. That's good. So with this in combat, we want to play as defensive as possible by moving around into advantageous positions. I again forgot to use my Arcane Might infusement, but we got some more fighters here. You got a lot of huge area of effect spells, and you also got some psychic ones that'll hit really hard, so we can use this to hopefully finish them off. And I'll get chip damage off on a couple others. So the psychic damage is guaranteed damage. We took them out. It hits really hard too. And we also have the Spectral Pursuit bonus action, so we can channel our connection to the astral plane. And basically you'll see what this does. So boom, we're now right up in their face. So that's great because it does psychic damage. If you got the resonance stone, it'll increase the amount of damage. So we're getting kind of surrounded here. That's fine. We'll just get things going here. We'll let them attack. We have a decent armor class, so it should be decent. But we also have a weapon that gives us darkness. So if you're using that, you can make this really strong because the darkness basically lets you hide in it and just shoot from the darkness, which is really nice. So I'll show that off once they use their turn. So now to really upset their day, what we're going to do is run into the fight here and go with some darkness. So this is going to create a patch of darkness that we can hide within. And what's nice about this is you're now pretty much like unstoppable. We were able to take out 2 of them there with that. And then we can just follow it up with some furthermore attacks like that, or we can go with some ranged weapon attacks, trying to take out those that are furthest away. So we use up our actions there. We can also use the spectral pursuit to teleport around and then move back to the darkness if you need to, because you can see there it hits really hard. We're able to take out a good amount of their health there and just hide within the darkness, so they can't really do much about that. And we'll just let them fight us and try to do what they can. So again, it's our turn now, and they're jumping our squad, so I have to leave my darkness. But we got the Death's Embrace here, which will, as you can see, hit really hard. So this is another fun spell that's going to deal a good amount of damage, drop their weapons too, and unfortunately petrify them into dust. But we also got that Psychic Lance attack too, which can be nice. If you can line it up perfectly with a number of targets, that becomes one of your best damaging spells. So unfortunately, there's no advantageous positions that we can put ourselves in here, but we can blast both of them there with that. Typically, the Psychic damage is going to be the stronger option. And then you also have the Spectral Pursuit there to get around if you need to go back to your darkness. So you can see there, we took them out, and now we're back to the Shade. So that's really cool. You got the movement speed and the ability to get around the battlefield really quickly, which is super useful. So yeah, this is a fun one. So we were getting blasted hard there. The Spectral Pursuit can also be used upcasted if you need to move in and get closer to a target. So if you're running a movement speed, you get your bonus action there to help out. But we also got ourselves a Death Veil Spiral if we need to hit an area of effect. What I gotta do is make sure that I don't hurt my teammates, so we'll go with that. And it's chained over to the other one. Was able to take out both of them. So we now have red hair from all the blood that we shed. And that is the AETHERIC Strider Mindweaver in Baldur's Gate 3. This is a requested one, and I was putting a lot of thought and effort into it, trying it out over the last few days. So hit the subscribe button below if you found this video useful. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an incredible day, and I'll see you all in the next video.